5 years ago, we started asking for another operating room because we only have one. So you do a C-section or emergency case, everything gets bumped. So we were kind of dependent on the donor to help us make this move. And 3 years ago, USAID came in, and we found out they were going to refurbish part of the hospital for a new OB unit. All they were going to do is pull everything out of one section of the hospital, all our storage, and refurbish it with beds and make OB, and that was, all that stuff was going to go in the street, basically. There was no planning. So this guy, the donor and family, he's 80 now, jumped in and decided to take over. They made a contract with USAID that they would build a new OB wing. USAID then backed out after 6 months after they started the building project. So what started out as one operating room led to a new OB wing, which is a private room, semi-private room, OB ward, delivery, eclampsia room. That's phase one, that's finished, and people are in it, but there's construction going on. So they told me they were bringing a lady back from a C-section, pushing her down the hall with the construction going on, only like you can do in Haiti or some other. And the wind blew down this hall because it's got a tunnel effect, and the gown and everything blew up, and it was the maintenance guys pushing her in the. So she's on the gurney with this gown over her. The wind blows and the cover flows up over the guy's head, and she's laying there naked on the bed with all the people sitting around, and everybody's covering their eyes. So you can just imagine this construction site.
Maybe not imagine.
Like, I mean, you know, with a chicken here and a chicken there. And so the OB's done. Phase two turned into a big project, 2 new operating rooms, an emergency room, well, a room, and an x-ray room. And then they went up a level, so it's a doctor's call room, a conference room, 2 office rooms, water system. So that's all done except for windows and tile. So they're putting windows and tile as we spend our time in another warehouse going through these boxes for about the 3rd time that had been sent by USAID in the original project, and pulling stuff out like this cataract kit. This is a full cataract kit that we don't use, but I kept them, and now they're coming down. So what we did is the whole 2 weeks is basically manual labor sorting through boxes. I burned 8 trucks of stuff we could never use, like cardiac catheters and things that people just send us. And we put operating room tables and operating room lamps on the floor in one room, anesthesia machines in another room. We redid the pharmacy 5 times because meds kept showing up. So we would redo it with little stickies, and then finalized it with a complete inventory, a new inventory system. Met with the pharmacy crew who are resistant to change and instituted a new pharmacy, which was what I was talking about. We did a spot check on one thing, went through 60 boxes of gloves in 2 weeks. But we have 50 nursing students there, so that's possible with them. So basically we left with stuff in every room. Like Bert McDonnell, who's the builder, is putting the windows and the tile up. He would just put boards in front in one room. We wouldn't work there one day, and the next day we would work in another room. So we're very close to being finished. So then we have an eye team coming March 7th, optometry, and then VOI coming March 14th, and then a surgical team coming March 21st, one after the other. And then March 11th is a big hospital grand opening, so we're going to have too many white people wandering around the place visiting, and teams for about 3 weeks. It's going to be absolute chaos. But everybody's pretty excited about it. It's a town. The town considers it their hospital. It is their hospital, so they're pretty excited. And those of you who've been there, it's a little hospital in the middle of kind of a dirty town, so there's not much place to go out. You just kind of went up and made it work. So this will for sure be the final building project. Nobody wants this to get bigger. We don't have the funding to get bigger. So we're trying to build a hospital that doesn't need more employees, just more space to do what we were supposed to do to begin with. So overall it was pretty good. And I ate a lot of mangoes.
Are you going back in March then?
I didn't want to come back. We really needed to stay for Bert is just working his head off. So we go back March 3rd. And then May, we have Southwest Medical surgical teams going. So for 2 years now, we haven't been taking many teams because of this construction project. So now we're just starting to, so I have 3 surgical teams already going down, which is really good. And then we're going to ramp up an OB. We need to do a colposcopy training thing. I've got all the equipment. I read the book. I did a couple of cases on my own. I'm not sure the patients enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. But we need some professionals to help us do it now.
Hint, hint.
So that was our trip. So good trip.
Good.